In this video we're going to look at finding and fixing orphan records. So first of all we are going to go and find a file to check. Not surprisingly, this one will have orphans in it. So we found some errors. We're going to say yes to import those errors. So it imports the AGS file and gives us the error log as well. And we can see that we have a large number of errors here. We have 673. So that can seem like a bit of a worrying statistic when you look at it to start with. So what we're going to do, we're just going to look at where these errors are coming from. You see there's very similar errors being reported all the time, and we can see if we can fix them. So we're going to go to the AGS toolkit. We're going to go select the error message and click fix. Because this is an orphan record or a missing parent record, it will put it into the orphanage for us to try and match those records back up with their parents. So at the top here we have the group that's selected. We have two groups here that have orphans in them. We just simply select them and then we'll update the list of orphans in the bottom. If we select any one of those orphans, it will then try and do a match for us based on whatever number we've got up here. So key field match selection is 4. So any 4 key fields that match. So here we've got location ID, sample top, ref, type, and sample ID. Any 4 of those fields that match will then enable us to go through. So here we have location ID, sample top, sample ref, and sample ID are the same, but sample type is different. And you see we only have 1 record there. If we reduce that number to 3, you'll see it's now matching all 3, any 3 rather. So it's finding every sample reference 21 at 4 meters, or we can go to 2, or we can go to 1, or in fact, if we set it to 0, it will show us all of our samples. Now this can be problematic because now we've got a very large list of samples, so we can force the location match, assuming the client or the data has the location ID correct. Now one of those fields has to be location matched. So if we go to 2 or 3, now we've got to be location matched. So first thing we need to do, we need to kind of understand where the errors are being generated. So here we can see that pretty much all of the errors are being generated here by the fact that the sample type wasn't entered by the lab and hasn't been reported. So we can actually fix those. Now we can do them manually. So we can say that this sample is this sample, or rather this result belongs to this sample, fix. And that's now fixed it within our data set, and you see it's gone on to the next one and suggested for us what it is. Okay, so it works, but it's very time consuming. So we have an auto fix button over here as well, which will say when I select this sample, if there is only one that currently matches whatever I've selected up here, then fix it. So I can run that auto fix and it will go through the list of samples. Now I've got quite a few to go through. Remember that we had 673 errors, so roughly split equally between the liquid limit, plastic limit test table and the moisture content test table. So it will now just go through those and it will fix anything that has the right number of parents, the right number of key fields. So we've got one left. The one left, it couldn't find anything. So we're going to go to 3, and now we can start to see this one is oddly different. We've got the sample ID at the top, but both the ref and the type are missing. But we're confident that that is that sample, so we can fix that manually. Okay, so that one wasn't auto-fixed because it didn't reach the requirement that only one result from what we've selected. So be really careful running auto-fix so you understand what the problem is. So we're back on liquid limit, natural moisture content, and we can auto-fix these results as well. It will go through and auto-fix these results. And as you can see, we've got a number now coming up that don't match. We'll have a look why in a minute. Okay, the reason they don't match is because we were actually only matching on 3 key fields. So if we go to 4 and then auto fix again, we can see now that they're matching going through. So again, you can run auto match at different levels and everything will be matched and fixed. Okay, so now we can close that. And we can export our AGS file. I'm just going to call it fixed, and it will go through exporting the file, updating the screen at the bottom here as you see. Now it asks me if I want to check it. I'm going to say yes, and hopefully what will happen now is I will get no errors. So there we go. 673 errors fixed within about 5 minutes.